We're getting better day by day, and that's what you want as a coach, especially at the end of the season. And sometimes teams start to, I don't know, either break down physically or get worse, and I feel like we're building right now. So I think the results are the results, but the way we played, and especially I'm going to go to the Oklahoma match, that's a good volleyball team that just pushed Texas to 4 and almost pushed it to 5. That we left the end of that, and I was like, man, like I was a little worried coming into that match and really happy with the way we played, the way we were dialed in from almost start to finish. And really excited about the path that we're on.
We'll start on the left, second row to Alex.
Yeah, with the top 16 mid-season rankings coming out, just, how do you kind of utilize that maybe to, inspire your team maybe, or what you can do to these last few weeks jockeying for that kind of position?
Yeah, my timing was off, actually. I talked to them when we were doing our scouting meeting that morning, and I said, hey, like the way we win matters. Like that might be on a TV in a room right now, a selection committee watching, and then all of a sudden it came out 45 minutes later. But I think that's what we got to talk about is this isn't just about winning and losing necessarily. It's about how we win, and it's about positioning ourselves to go as far as we possibly can in the NCAA tournament. And we've had talks about playing that final weekend. And so I think I don't necessarily have to dial them in right now. I've been asked all season how to describe this team, and it's mission focused. They know what they want right now, and I think especially as the season's starting to get down near the end, it's not like the grind of the midseason. And the one thing that we were talking about a little bit over the week is with the SEC tournament now, like your regular season is shorter. And I think it's all of a sudden there's not like the grind of October. It was like October 5th, and we're already 2 matches past halfway. So I think they're dialed in on what they need to do, and I think that came out, and I think it's encouraging that we're heading in the right direction. I know Wisconsin lost that night, so we're probably moved up to 12. And if you were to like, I don't know, subjectively look at that, and we're probably a 3 seed right now. So our goal is to move up that as much as we possibly can and put ourselves in the best position going into the postseason.
We'll go back to Alex.
I wanted to ask you about Maddie, especially with you guys playing LSU this week. When y'all saw her out of the portal, can you just take me through what y'all saw in her, and did you expect that she would possibly become the setter that she has become today?
Yes. I'd actually worked with Maddie, so prior to me coming here, I was working for League One, and part of that I was demonstrating that taking international beliefs about volleyball would apply at the club volleyball level. So I was coaching at Houston Skyline where she was, and I didn't coach her on her team, but I was doing some positional work with the setters, and I just remember at the time, just her location was unbelievable. And then you get on the phone with her, and she's this even-keeled, goofy, in terms of like the character she brings to a team. But she always plays with this level head. But at the same time, there's this competitiveness that's not fiery, that comes out as raw, but that she wants to win no matter what. And I think just the combination of things, I had an idea. And obviously you don't bring people into a program that, you don't think are going to help you win, but more importantly, aren't going to fit the human beings that you want in your program. And she really nailed all of that.
She's played so much this season, just in terms of minutes played. What have you just seen from her durability?
I think she's a really good setter, and I think the thing this year that I was most proud of was we had a talk at the end of last season just about, like, imagine if you did everything over the off season to come back and be in the best, I don't know, bulletproof version of yourself that you can withstand the season, and she did all of it. And I think she saw the results and the difference, and I think with that, she's, I don't know, having a season where everyone's going to have their dings as the season goes on, but they're not hitting her as hard as they have in the past. And I think that's part of the reason why you're seeing her play at the level you're seeing her at also.
And last one, too, on her, I'm just curious, sometimes she'll hit those little dump kills. Just what is it about that she has in her game that it's so effective when she's able to use it?
She's cagey. Like, I don't know if other sports have that term when it comes to, like, she's not going to overpower you with those, but they're going to be in the exact right spot. And it's one of those things where I don't feel like that, almost like we talk to our attacker sometimes. Like, it's more annoying as a blocker when someone hits the ball at 25% off your hands and they're not even trying. Like, that's kind of how it is with her. And she just puts it in the exact right spots on the court. And it's a huge piece of her game.
We'll stay on the left side to the third row.
On this kind of 2-game road trip before Texas, what's kind of something that you maybe haven't seen from your team that you'd like to see over the next 2 games before that rivalry matchup?
We're going to go play LSU, and they're going to be feisty. I'll just use that word. You're going to see some emotion directed through the net. So I just think that we can respond to that in the way that we want to, that we control our side, but at the same time we don't back down. I think is one of the things. I'm hoping, not really from my team, but from the 12th men, that There just so happens to be a football game on Saturday in the same city as the place that we play on Friday night. So I hope there's some way that we can see a lot of maroon in the crowd as well. And then I don't think it's anything new. I mean, keep upgrading the areas we need to upgrade. And I said this last week. Last week was the first time we really got into a normal rhythm of a week that we could get some work in. So I think there's going to be some stuff in transition we're going to work on, just that translates to the court this weekend. And then keep doing what we're doing. And I love how we're playing with a sense of urgency across the board, that every point matters, the way that we win matters, the way that we act on the court matters, and keep doing what we're doing is the other one.
We'll stay on the left-hand side to the 5th row.
Do you feel some sort of pressure knowing that these 2 road games can be a make or break season?
Yeah, I did until you asked that question. No. It was interesting. I was thinking about this actually after we played on Sunday. I remember I worked with Karch Karai, who I don't know if anybody in the room knows who he is, but he transcended the sport of volleyball and probably arguably the best, player to ever play this game on the men's or women's side. And I was lucky and blessed to coach with him for 8 years, 4 years as an assistant with him as an assistant. Then he took over as the head coach. I remember asking the question, I'm like, hey, you were number 1 in the world for like 15 straight years. Like, how did you handle that? And he just said, I tried to come in without any expectations, because if you have expectations that this thing's going to happen, winning becomes a relief and it steals the joy from it. So I was actually, reminding myself of that on Sunday. Just that there's got to be no expectations when it comes to any of these matches. And the SEC, I'm going to say it's a gauntlet, and it's across almost every sport probably, but every win that we have, regardless of who it's against, it's something to be joyful for. So no, I'm not going to look at the pressure of it. I think there is a little bit of that as we go into these, but I think the other thing I've been proud of my team at, it's stayed process oriented the entire time, and they've enjoyed the wins.
Oh, we'll go onto the 4th row.
Howdy, Coach.
Howdy.
Do you like the idea of having the SEC tournament? Do you feel like it? I mean, it gives you an opportunity to prepare, or?
Yeah. Yes and no. I think this is the first year, and you're not going to get anything perfect. And I'm going to go say this too. I think the SEC is doing an amazing job. I think from what I've heard, the venue that they chose, the place that they chose, the way that they're going to treat us, I think it's going to be amazing. If I were to say, hey, what do I think needs to happen? There needs to be some days off in this. We go the entire season and we play kind of 2 matches in a row at the beginning of the season, sometimes 3 in a row. And previously they used to play 2 in one day, but everyone's gone away from that for the management of the body. And all of a sudden we're going to go to the SEC tournament, and I'm hopeful, knock on wood, cross my fingers, we'll be a top 4 seed. But the very minimum we're playing, if we were going to win that, minimum we could play 1 match, but you're playing 3 matches to go win. And if you're in the bottom half of the conference and you get hot, you're playing 5 matches in a row over 5 days, and that's a lot. And for teams that are looking to the NCAA tournament in a week and 3 days after that, we don't want to beat up our bodies right before we do it. So I think there's some things that can be tweaked, but I do think it can be an amazing showcase for our sport. I think it gives the SEC, and they have a title sponsor now that's going to pump some money into the SEC and into volleyball, and it's going to get some more eyeballs on our sport that, again, is blowing up right now. And I think at that time of the year, and I said it when we were talking in the back, you're going to have other conferences where have maybe meaningless matches happen. We're going to have top 10 teams going up against each other with something on the line. And I think we got to look at the balance of how do we protect our athletes. And I think that needs to be weighed a little bit more than it is right now. But the other side of it is, how do we market our sport? Because it is blowing up. It's becoming more visible. You're seeing attendance here grow. Like when I got here and I said there's a tidal wave happening of interest in our sport, I wasn't lying. It's happening across the country. And it's going to continue to happen. So the more that we can grow the size of that wave, the better. But I'm going to go back to the other one. We got to make sure we look after our athletes and look after the SEC team's chances of going far in that NCAA tournament as well.